what's the difference between a TB and lung cancer?
Yung question ko.
Yes, sir. Ano po yung diferensya sa early diagnosis ng TB at cancer, lung cancer?
Yan, may follow-up.
The quick answer to that is, well, they'll be very important, and we can even enumerate to you other things that along the way could actually reflect not only cancer, not only TB, other infection, connective tissue disease, marami. Okay? Kaya, hindi siya for face value na may bukod ako sa baka, yung anxiety or yung burden na pupunta sa pasyente, ano na ang susunod sa akin. And that's where we emphasize that this module, as simple as it may seem, if you actually connect kung ano yung expert opinion natin, that would actually help streamline the
Ano ba yung top na cancer?
because one single module can
Pero ng
reflect
breast cancer.
a lot of
Breast
things. Okay?
cancer.
Depende sa risk
Pero
ng
ng
pasyente,
cancer
depende sa
lang.
demographics ng pasyente, depende sa exposure ng pasyente, depende sa family history ng pasyente. So kapag nakabasa ko kayo ng one module sa X-ray o sa CT scan nyo, this is where this collaborative work from all the experts will come in para sulit mo yung pupunta nyo sa doktor.
Another one. Ma'am?
They can present with similar symptoms, ubo, no? So, mga kayaya, parehong common yun sa TB, common yun sa lung cancer. But TB is caused by a bacteria, infection yun. The cancer is caused by an abnormal mutation ng normal cells sa lungs. And the only way to differentiate them is biopsy to confirm lung cancer, kumuha ng maliit na sample dun sa bukol. And sa TB, sometimes plema lang, no, or biopsy. So yun yung main difference. Since TB is very common in the Philippines, and lung cancer is the most common cancer then in men in the Philippines, then ang important is to pursue the diagnosis and confirm it. Hindi yung i-treat lang kaagad as TB kasi the patients loses 6 months of their cancer journey kung cancer yun, di ba? So nahuli na tayo ng 6 months na pag-treat sa kanya. So yun yung difference.
Another one. Sister.
Very quickly now, for TB or not TB, that is the question. So that's very, very important. Just to echo what our key head of mine mentioned, so it's very hard to decide which at the onset. So I think it's very important that you need to, like I mentioned in the slides, vigilant monitoring. So for me, it's very simple. When we think about it, we can simplify it as if something doesn't add up, then probably that's not it. So if you, for example, if you meet mo siya or you diagnose this patient as tuberculosis, you just start na po ng treatment, and then eventually for some reason this patient is not improving, then probably that's the time to rethink your diagnosis and probably pursue one. And in addition to what Ma'am Nell was mentioning a while ago, of course AI is here. I know there are a lot of hesitations and negative connotations with AI as well, but I believe that if you use AI in a very good and positive way, it can actually give good results. Just to mention the program that Ma'am Yan mentioned a while ago, yung sa AI in chest X-rays. So that can be done. So the program actually started in the National ED program. So that's when they used this AI first. And eventually they expanded and now they noticed that they can potentially use it to detect lung nodules that might probably be lung cancer. So I guess if we make that AI technology more accessible to more Filipinos, then probably it can also aid us in differentiating is it ED or not.
I'd like to add to that the training cost very less compared to the CT scan and what the Filipinos will not put through CT scan immediately. Yet to know if they have lung cancer. So, but the AI that is creates or used with the X-ray may cause only about 50 pesos additional per X-ray. That's what I heard that pag-amas din coach, kaya mura lang po yun. Mas tatagapin po ng mga tao at ang filler covers after the X-ray amount, and perhaps then also cover that amount with the additional 50 pesos benefit compared to the
Can I add to that one? As Ken said, the AI chest X-ray was developed first in TB, and they kind of mastered that. Meaning to say, if you do AI chest X-ray looking at TB, it can be as good as an expert radiologist. Okay. Now they're looking into nodules, and the studies already is picking up, and they could really differentiate an deletion from a lung nodule, and they have different descriptions of it. For lung nodule, they have high risk, low risk, and of course, no risk. It's normal. In TB, they have another nomenclature there. The problem is if you have both deletion and nodule lesion. So the first thing you do is that an active infection. That's the reason why the patient undergoes biologic testing for TB. And if it's positive, then they treat, and then afterwards, they put the patient down. They now look at the lung nodule. The patient goes into those. So, yes, you can actually differentiate the TB from a lung nodule, given our
Okay, sir.
One of the most prominent persons said hotline from lung cancer was Senator Brilliant Defensor Santiago. Pero sabi niya, hindi naman siya naniligarilyo, and she's rich, she's famous, and healthy living. Pero na-detect yung kanyang lung cancer later na. So how much more for us ng mga ordinary people? Takot din siguro dahil lalo na wala tayong pera.
Ang risk factor din po for lung malignancy is not only smoking, just to remind you, it's also the age group. So this is usually a cancer found on the elderly 60-65. So we doon na pipick up po. So yun po yung risk factor ng ating nasirang senator because of the age group, not because of the smoking history. Well, in that case, that emphasizes yung ating gut CT liver, like at least an annual chest X-ray, to check. And usually, the cancer does not grow overnight. It is something that builds up, unti-unti po yun. So we will, as pulmonologists, sometimes we found nodules. We need to take a look back on previous radiographs, compare these radiographs, and if it has been found new ba to, or it has been found before, and if it was found before, how far yung difference between those two radiographs, and was there some sort of a increase in size? Because a 25% increase in size po is somewhat worrisome for malignancy. So yung pong doubling time na tinatawag for cancer cells, it ranges from 40 to 200 days. Yung matatagal na 200 days, ito yung for adenocarcinoma. So yung mga newfound nodules, these need a follow-up period po to check on their growth. If they are growing, then proceed to the next step, which is a more definitely chest CT scan. Hindi na po tayo na low dose. Kung nakita na po ang isang nodule sa chest X-ray, that chest X-ray benefits more yung regular CT scan. Ano po? So, yung rescreen po natin, yung may normal chest x-ray, pero high risk
Free
sila
tapping.
based on age, based on smoking history, or probably based also on their family history. No symptoms. Yun pong sinasabing screening. Pag sinabi po natin screening, the person has high risk but not yet with symptom. So we need these tools, yung nga pong mga imaging tools usually, to do the job of screening. So yung pong, yung Filipino, we encourage them to be more on the aggressive side of health-seeking behavior, especially pumapasok na nga po sa elderly age group kasi tumataas na po yung incidence of lung cancer. I hope that answered the question. It's not only the smoking history, but also some other things like age group and family history that places that person high risk for lung malignancy po.
And I thought that is, there are several risk factors. Like what I mentioned a while ago, 20% of those that lung cancer are not smokers, and there are several risk factors, like for example, where often beyond the psychological, but actually there are several other factors like exposure to radon and asbestos. Wala na po masyado asbestos. Radon is something that is naturally occurring in the soil at inside. Nagkakaroon din po ng lung cancer mga tao, and that is very prevalent. That's the second non-smoker cause of lung cancer in the United States. And then also outdoor pollution. Sanay na tayo doon, alam na natin yung mga bunso. But there are also indoor pollution wherein yung mga sa probinsya natin at luluto pa yung kahoy at yung puchong doon ay natural din. Lalo na kung nagluluto sila sa loob ng bahay, na loob, sarado doon, kulang ang bintana at naiiwan ang puchong doon. And of course, the genetic factor, if your parent has lung cancer, talagang nasama ka sa next factor, then probably you might also get lung cancer. Kaya screening, regular screening is very important.
I'd like to also expound on the genetic factor that engineer mentioned, because I think the subtype of non-small cell lung cancer that the senator had is something that has a genetic mutation, a driver mutation that drives the cancer to grow and multiply and metastasize. And luckily, during that time, there was a drug that can target that mutation, and it was very effective for her. So the diagnosis of lung cancer does not end with pathology. We have to look for the presence of mutations, because the targeted agents that target the mutation are very effective and the response are very durable. Matagal silang nabubuhay. So yun din ang nilalabi natin sa PhilHealth na kung pwede, i-shoulder din yung genetic test for lung cancer, not only histopath diagnosis, because it's very important in choosing the best treatment.
Thank you, doctors.
Can I add to that? Yeah, in the PhilHealth writing of the drug for cancer, that's included.
Was it approved?
That's included. That's in the process, but that's included. Because they're also including drugs for the PKI cancer, the immunotherapy drugs. So that's
okay. Thank you. And our last question from second to the last question.
Rostel Rosario from WhatsApp Pilipinas. So, I'm actually not surprised kung bakit until now, kahit yung lung cancer is one of the most prominent na sakit, hanggang ngayon wala pa rin safe benefit package. So, kasi we know that the priority of the government is focused on somewhere else. So, as medical practitioners, maybe we could be the ones to initiate or push the government to become more proactive and dealing na hindi puro tayo concentrating on curing or basta mas magandang prevention ang encourage natin or i-push natin. Kasi di ba, as medical practitioners, you would know kung ano yung nagiging source o nagiging cause ng mga ganitong sakit. So you can professionally advise the government or whoever or our people to make the move on how to prevent rather than later on pag problema tayo how to cure it. And then compared to the other countries, parang late rin tayo, di ba? So dapat sana mag-push tayo as medical practitioners. Is there a way para mas maganda sana yung ano natin, yung initiative to push the government to focus more on prevention rather than cure?
Okay. To answer this question.
Probably, in case sir, no, that's basically what the Aspire consensus statement is all about. Basically embodies what the Aspire aspires to be. So, for example, one of the pillars, one of the key principles there definitely is to